Yeah, so I'm Beatrice, and as Alison said, I'm the director of the Existential Hope program at Foresight. And I'm going to talk about our newest upcoming project in the Existential Hope program. So, as you hopefully know by now, this is what we work at Foresight to advance these technologies: neurotech, AI, nanotech, biotech, etc. But one of the things that we think is really important to keep in mind is also asking the question why. Like, why are we advancing these technologies? What's the purpose? What's the goal? And where we ask the question is in this program, the Existential Hope program. So basically, we refer to it as the North Star of all our other programs. It's kind of our like philosophical wing. And that's where we think about like what is the future worth aiming for with these technologies. So let's just try to be a little bit inspirational. Hopefully, I won't have to expand on these too much as you've heard many inspirational talks today. But yeah, just let's look at a few of these technologies like biotech. What would be possible? Like what if we could radically expand half span and lifespan? Wouldn't that be amazing? Or nanotechnology. What if we could actually construct things on the atomical level? That would just be an amazing tool to have, if especially if you think about like the current climate challenges and everything that we're facing right now. Or neurotechnology. What if you could talk to your dog? That would be amazing. And also, I think another thing in neurotechnology that I feel is almost like underappreciated is just like the potential for empathy expansion or like moral circle expansion. I think there's like that's something that we should be talking more about and thinking more about. Or space. Like just imagine being able to understand the universe more. I think that could actually, oftentimes when we talk about technology, it feels like technology is in a battle with nature or something. But I think also if you actually understand the universe more, we can be closer to nature. We can live in harmony with nature. And last but not least, of course, AI. Maybe there are questions we don't even know that we should be asking now. And yeah, just think about the answers that we could get. I don't know, like the meaning of life. 42, I guess. And so what we like to keep in mind is that it's actually quite urgent to have these conversations now. Now is an especially crucial time. I think the technological progress is not slowing down. Especially with AI now, it's gonna speed up more and more. So we need to have the conversations like right now, ideally yesterday. And also, I think it's easy to get stuck in thinking that the the default path is like as good as it gets. But I think if we put a bit of intention behind it, we could actually make it much, much better. And that's important to keep in mind. And so what can we do? Well, the existential program I think is still an experiment because it is really hard. Like, how do we do this? Like, how do we map out these futures? How do we get there? That's even harder. Um, so the thing that we're gonna do now as the next project is we're gonna do what we call advanced world building. And by advanced world building, we basically mean we want to really make sure we involve experts. So we want to hear from you, basically, if you're an expert in a certain field. We want to design desirable futures for the technology that you're working on. And we do think that world building is a very good tool for this, both because I think the future with AI is really unpredictable. It's really, really hard to say where this could go. Like, we really don't know. There are many, many different potential scenarios here. And by mapping out specific possibilities or different scenarios, we can be more prepared for when they come. We can be better at steering towards them. And I think that, obviously forecasting is a really, really good tool in general when we think about the future. But to do forecasting, we're kind of reliant on extrapolating on like current trends. Whereas if we do scenario planning or world building, we can think more boldly about like what could the future be if we think like in terms of desirability, and then we can backcast rather than forecast and think about, okay, what should we be doing now to get there? And so this project is going to focus pretty much on AI. Surprise. So we'll explore a few different ways where we think of like really desirable futures with AI and really useful tools, useful ways to use AI, like AI for scientific discovery. How can we do that in the best way? What are like really desirable paths within that? Or one thing that we had at Vision Weekend a few years ago was Anthony Aguirre from FLI had proposed that we should basically have like agents, AI agents that go out and negotiate for us to achieve Pareto preferred outcomes. And I think that's something that would be amazing if we could have that. And we should have more ideas like this and try to make them into reality. Or just AI that can help us decrease levels of existential risk by monitoring the current states. And so that's it, really. That's just what I wanted to talk to you about. And I would love for you to contribute. So if you want to just scan this QR code or go on this link, there's just a little form where you can fill in your information. And basically, I will reach out to you by the time that we're getting started, which will be, I think, in a few weeks. And yeah, we would just really, really appreciate your expertise and help on this. And that's it. Yeah. Any questions if we have time? We do.
Questions, comments? Yep.
You're asking for experts, but what about generalists? Because you need people you need people in between the experts.
Yes. Well, so obviously, this is a big and difficult thing. So we do have within the Existential program, like we have 2 different world building programs actually. One is launching April 1st, and that's aimed at the general public, and that's going to be a free online course available to anyone in the world, and we're going to really try to get it out there. And so I will also, you'll probably be on the Foresight email list after this Vision Weekend, hopefully. So I will ask for your help to like get that out there to as many people as possible. So that's like one project where we try to do more like, that's more like wisdom of the crowd, kind of like, crowd forecasting, like crowd world building or crowd scenario planning. So that's actually a project that we're doing separately from this. And then this one is more just, this one we're going to try to work with experts. And then we'll see, maybe in the future we'll try to do one where we like combine them both.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you, Beatrice.